Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. This is the card we're making today. Isn't it cute? I'm doing some watercolouring using heat embossing to help me stay within the lines, and this is the Christmas card I made today. So the stamp set I'm going to use is this one called Berry Harvest, and I've got it already set up on my Stamparatus just to make life a bit easier, but it's such a large stamp. And we're going to stamp using the Versamark ink. So firstly, we're going to want to put down a little bit of powder on our cardstock, and this will ensure that the Versamark ink only sticks where we want it to stick. So let's just do that quickly. And then we're going to ink up our large stamp using the Berry Harvest. Going to ink up the Berry Harvest stamp using our Versamark ink, and we're going to make sure we try and cover everything. It is a very large stamp, which is why I've used a stamping tool just to help me make sure I get the coverage I want. So I'm going to go in and stamp it a second time just to make sure I didn't miss any areas. And then we're going to heat emboss, and this is going to be the trick that will help us when we watercolour to stay within the lines, so that our watercolour doesn't bleed through to anywhere else. And it's a lovely little trick and it gives a great effect. Okay, so we've inked up our Versamark. Now we're going to use some lovely gold embossing powder. So I'm just going to put that all down there, and I love the magic of heat embossing. This dull powder becomes so beautifully shiny and glossy. It always seems like magic to me. I don't know about you, but to me it's pure magic. Okay, so I'm just making sure I get good coverage everywhere, and then just tap off the excess. And then we're just going to quickly heat set that with our heat tool after I clean up the mess that I obviously made. Here we go, and it's just, this is all speeded up, but you can see here how it just changes from this dull powder to a lovely glossy effect you can see there. So now we're going to do some watercolouring, and we're going to be using Real Red and Garden Green. And I've just put a little bit of ink in the base of my ink pad, and then I'm just using my water pen here, my aqua painter or water painter, just to pick up the colour and just paint. And the heat embossing will resist the ink where it is, and so it helps the ink to stay within the lines. And I'm just picking up and going in lighter and then adding a little bit more darker shades. If you feel something is oversaturated, just leave it and let it dry, and then you can come back. Watercolouring is extremely forgiving. You can also soak up anything you don't want just with a spare cloth. You can see one here I've got to the left of me, and here you can see I'm just going back in with a bit more ink, adding colour. It is always easier, whatever you're doing, to add more rather than take away. And here you can see me going in with the green, and you can see how what I love about watercolouring is that the water just pools naturally. Now I should say, but I didn't say it at the beginning, you do need to use a watercolour cardstock to do this. So I've used our Fluid 100, and I've just used half a sheet of our Fluid 100 cardstock to do my watercolouring here. I wouldn't advise you to use our basic white because it is a super smooth cardstock, beautiful for stamping, but it doesn't take water so very well. So you need something that's going to take water well, otherwise you just won't get the results that you're looking for. It very much is a case of using the right product for the right job. So you can see me here just going in lightly with the colour and then adding more detail. If you want the colour to blend out, you're going to add more water. If you want it to be more intense, then you're going to have less water. And you can see here I just put a bit more ink in the top of my lid, and then I just pick it up with my water painter from the lid. Never use your water painter direct to the ink pad, just pick it up from the lid or from some sort of a palette. And then I'm just going round, and it is really easy to do. As I said, as the heat embossing keeps you in the lines, and you just take your time. This is really speeded up. This colouring took me in reality about half an hour to do. And you're just adding as much detail as you want. Here where I'm adding detail is where I can see the natural lines of the card, and there we go. That's what I came up with. I love it. So I'm not going to add very much to this card. I'm just going to add a sentiment, and I'm using the Sparkling Snowflake sentiment stamp set here, and we're going to use the one that says Winter Greetings, and I'm just stamping that in Garden Green ink. And then I'm going to use the double oval punch to punch that out. So I'm going to punch out the sentiment with a small little oval, the one at the bottom, the one that's not scalloped. And then I've got a spare piece here of garden green cardstock, and I'm going to punch out the matting layer with that. So let's just stick here one to the other with a little bit of Tombow glue. You can see here I'm just using a scrap up. You want to use a great way to use up all your little scraps. So our card base here is Real Red. It's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And I'm just going to stick down my layer to the front, and then I'm going to put a little insert inside. So this is a good time to say, if you've enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And also, if you wanted more information about the video, supply list measurements, you'll find it all in the description box below, including the link to my Facebook group. You can see here I'm putting the insert in, and that measures 14.35 centimeters by 10 centimeters. But as I said, all those measurements will be on the blog post on my website, and then that's below in the description box. So we're just going to use a couple of dimensionals to pop up our sentiment, pop that on the front of our card, and we have a beautiful watercoloured Christmas card to share with a special person. So thank you for watching, and as I said, you'll find everything you need in the description box below, and don't forget to give it that thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.